I'm Ted Berg for SNY.TV, and today on Know Your Enemy, presented by Pepsi Max, we're scouting the Pirates as the Mets road trip stops in Steeltown. Joining us to talk about the Bucs is Charlie Wilmoth from the Pirates blog BucsDugout.com. Charlie, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Charlie, we'd like to start out with one good thing about the opposing team's offense, and in this case, it's a pretty clear choice. Andrew McCutchen has just been great for the Pirates so far.
Yeah, he's been on a tear recently. Has really, signed an extension in the offseason. And the idea there is that, he's a young athletic player who really doesn't have many weaknesses offensively. And he's really played like a guy who's going to take a step forward this year.
And I imagine the extension is a good thing to Pirates fans, right? Because it's got to be frustrating seeing players leave after a while, and that must send a nice message. See a young player like McCutchen come up and then get an extension and an indication from the front office that they're committed to a guy like of his caliber.
I suppose, although the bigger problem is that the Pirates haven't had enough talent in Pittsburgh worth keeping around. If you look at some of the guys they've let go in the past several years, people like Jason Bay, no offense, the Pirates really got rid of a lot of them. They really got rid of a lot of them at the right time. But I think McCutchen is a different situation because he's young, very athletic, can do a lot of things. Has a good eye at the plate, can hit for average, can hit for power. There's really no reason to think he's not going to age well, and it's great to have him committed to being with the Pirates through his early 30s.
Let's talk about the flip side of the things for the Pirates right now, and it's really just the rest of that lineup has been struggling up and down. They're last in the National League in batting average and on-base percentage, and second to last in slugging. What's gone wrong, and where can they hope to improve?
Just about everything has really gone wrong. They've probably banking a little bit on people like Jose Tabata and Pedro Alvarez to take a step forward. By and large, they really haven't. They also brought in Clint Barmas and Robert Barajas this offseason. They weren't necessarily hoping that those players would be huge offensive pieces, but I think they were, hoping that they would hit a little bit more than they have. Barajas has turned it on a little bit recently, but basically everything on the offense except for McCutchen has gone wrong. There isn't a lot of hope, frankly, for them to get better internally because their Indianapolis team, the AAA team, is one of the worst hitting teams in the International League as well. So it's unless they make a trade, which people don't typically do at this time of year, and which might not be a great idea anyway, it's hard to see how they're going to get better in the short term.
Let's talk about the pitchers in this series. Eric Bedard, tonight's starter, always good when healthy, and he's healthy now.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really nice. He's able to set batters up in a way that we haven't really seen in Pittsburgh in quite a while. His stuff is not necessarily the best, but it's pretty good. And, the confidence with which he gets through a batter and can set up a batter for a strikeout is just a strange thing to see in Pittsburgh.
Well, James McDonald, tomorrow's starter, is off to a great start. It looks like he's reined in the walks a little bit and he's striking out more guys. What can we expect out of him?
Hopefully lots and lots of really, from my perspective anyway, hopefully lots of really nasty breaking pitches. The breaking pitch has just been huge for him last year. This year it's really filthy, and he's been a lot more efficient because he's able to use that pitch as an out pitch more than he did in the past.
Charlie Morton is going on Wednesday. Is it safe to assume he still pitches like Roy Halladay, but not nearly as effectively?
That's pretty much it. He's had some mechanical issues this year, which have prevented him from taking a step forward. And he stepped back a couple starts ago and said, I need to make some mechanical adjustments because he had allowed a couple homers, which is something he doesn't typically do a whole lot of, being mostly a ground ball pitcher. So he's still making adjustments. If he can, everything seems really fragile with him. If he can get all of his mechanics on the same page this year, he can be effective, but he has yet to do so.
Charlie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Remember, for all the latest Mets coverage, be sure to check in at MetsBlog.com, TedQuarters.net, and SNY.TV.